up, my people? Is your favorite guy? You know the name, it's Castin, and I am gonna be bringing you our latest episode on CCA podcast. This is gonna be our third episode, and I hope you enjoy it. So, we're gonna be having a guest today, just like we did last week. His name is Ian. Is a person from the altcoin edge. The altcoin edge is a Web3 growing marketing projects that help you to market out your projects. As a Web3 project, they actually help you to give you the marketing boost and the impressions that you need, the real life impressions that you need. So we're gonna be having Ian for today. I hope you enjoy what he's gonna be telling you and what he's gonna be saying about our topic for today. So our topic is the strategies of growing in Web3. I'm very sure you want to know other things about that topic, but don't worry. We're going to be talking about it and the topic aspect. So today, as we usually do it, we're going to be having the three aspects. The first aspect is the news, where I'll be giving you the latest news on crypto, followed by the airdrop. Followed by the topic and followed by the airdrop. So now we have the news aspect. There are two news I would like to pass across, and these are news that you would want to hear. The first one, the Say network is live. Woo! Choo choo! So, a lot of people, a lot of voyagers, as they say, were actually following the shape of the Say network. And I think a lot of people were like, whoa, they're gonna airdrop so hard, they're gonna do this, they're gonna do that. Meanwhile, they actually launched on the Binance launch pool, where people were actually able to farm and do some other things, like I said last week. But meanwhile, some people actually have expecting a means of airdrop. So unfortunately, they say didn't come up as expected. So this left a lot of people annoyed, angry, upset about them, because the Say network was one of the airdrops that people really farmed a lot. I think a lot of Web3 users and both people that were actually not in the Web3 space went ahead, did everything just to get the funds from Say. But unfortunately, even those people that actually even made tweets about them, did it about them, couldn't actually get the airdrop from them. So that's that about Say, and I actually hope they bring more things to the community. I just hope they bring more things. So moving over to the next news, we have the news from the Shibarium. I'm very sure you'll be asking me, what is Shibarium? Well, Shibarium is something you would really love to know. Shibarium is from the Shiba Inu token. I'm very sure you might know Shiba Inu token. What is Shiba Inu token? Shiba Inu token is a meme token originated from like the regular meme, the regular Dogecoin meme, and some other things like that. So recently, I think they've been building their blockchain, mainnet blockchain for a while now. So the thing went live yesterday, and I think so far it's been doing well. But unfortunately, one of the news, they say that there might actually be issues wrong with the bridging. So people were actually having their funds on halt while bridging from other networks to the Shibarium network. So that's for that on the Shibarium news. And another news coming from Cointelegraph is Coinbase futures approval seen as a major win amid the war on crypto. That is some news that, bro, you'd wanna trust me, you wanna hear about. Another one is, why is the Bitcoin price down today? Bro, when I checked my portfolio, I was like, what? What is going on? Why is my portfolio down by, I think, minus $22? That but I actually hope the market is gonna improve along the run. Another one, we have the Say token valued at $1.8 billion after beta launch exchange listings. And we have the Binance Connect shutting down on August 16th. The Binance Connect is, I think it was a program that was actually originated by the Binance platform, but it was said not to have performed very well. So they are gonna be shutting it down after their efforts to like push it up to the next level. But unfortunately, it will be shutting down. But it has actually served a lot of people, I'm very, very sure. So that's for that on our news for today. So moving over to our topic aspect. I'll be welcoming someone right now on stage. His name is Ian and he's from Allscoin Edge, like I said before during the stats.
Okay,
So we're good, we're good. Hello Ian, how you doing this one afternoon or evening?
good man, good man. Nice to be here with you.
Okay, thank you very much for coming up here with me. So I don't want us to like take much time. So the topic for today is the strategies for growing in Web3. So I would like you to tell us a little bit of your background and about before we actually move on to the topic.
Cool. So, obviously, Ian is my name. I'm with Altcoin Edge. Originally, we were content creators, and we pivoted from there into working as an agency for projects. So, helping them on growth, community building, marketing, exposure, and building their presence in Web3. The way that happened was that we, again, started out as content creators. We built a community to 18,000 people in a year across YouTube, Telegram, and Twitter. And I'm sure you can leave the links to those. We still have fantastic communities, especially on Telegram and Twitter as well, where we do lots of content. Struggling a bit to find the time to do YouTube stuff with the work we have at the minute. But essentially, through that content, we started working with some projects, and from there, got some introductions to VCs, with a view from our idea to actually do content for more of their projects and obviously build revenue. But what we were suggested by one of the venture capitalists was that we should look at doing community building and marketing as a service because their projects really struggled with it. So that's kind of my background, and in general in the space, it's a big struggle for projects to do marketing effectively, to do community building well. So that's what we do. We come in and help them out with that.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Thank you very much. So I think I didn't really mention when we started. Ian is from Altcoin Edge. They are like a crypto agency that helps with growth and marketing under the crypto aspect. So Ian, if we're gonna be looking into the topic of today, which is the strategies in growing in Web3. What is your thoughts on this topic?
Yeah, so to be honest, my thoughts on the topic are that most projects do a terrible job of it, and some of it is because they're lazy, and some of it is because they don't know what they're doing. That's why we see so much fake followings, fake communities in the space. Um, and the reason for that is that when you have what looks like a big community, it is easier to get investment. It's easier to get listed on good exchanges, easier to find better partners. And a lot of the exchanges don't care what's real or what's fake. A lot of the VCs don't check carefully enough about what's real and what's fake. And the same goes for a lot of potential partners for projects as well. Smart ones, smart VCs do dig into this properly. But a lot of what we see in marketing in the space is just bullshit because people just want to pump up numbers and fake communities. So that's my thoughts on a lot of what goes on. And it's not just the case with projects. You find with, because if let's say this podcast had 100,000 followers, you would, get paid to have people on, and probably quite a nice amount of money, especially if the average views were good and there was good comments and engagement on the channel. And basically all of that can be faked. So that's what a lot of influencers do. It gives them allocations, opportunities and projects. It gives them the opportunity to do sponsored content. And again, because people aren't checking carefully enough, that money gets wasted. The other way, the correct way to kind of do things in the space is obviously through organic growth. That's very, very hard to achieve, but it's a lot of effort, and I don't know whether it's laziness or ignorance that a lot of projects and influencers don't want to do it this way, or the fact that they can sometimes get away with gaming the system long enough to create some revenue or fill their raise privately anyway. But at the end of the day, if you don't have a real community there behind your project, then nobody is going to buy your token, hold it. Nobody's going to use your project. Nobody's going to create that organic growth that comes, from people having real conversations about why they actually like what you're building. So that's the kind of holy grail that every project wants to get to, is obviously user base, good price performance, although it's something that they can't talk about, filling their public sale round. And also like for retail based products, not B2B ones, they need the retail users to be involved with it. Doing that comes down to kind of four very simple things, really. Number one is to present your project in the right way. So like look the part, be the part. Have a high quality website with, high quality documents, white papers, light papers, or information on the project. Have transparent tokenomics. Make sure your socials describe what you do well. Make sure your branding is on point. So when people look at this project, intuitively, the difference when you look at a project that has weak branding, unclear messaging, you don't know what it is. And when you see a project like that, you look at it for 10 seconds and you say, oh, I can't be arsed with this. I can't be bothered. Why do I have to dig through all this stuff, when it just doesn't look high quality? So when you get all of that on point, the next thing is, and all four of these have to work together. So the second point would be clear, consistent demonstration of progress. So always be there, talking to your community, updating them. Web3 is a cohesive thing. So you have to take those people on that journey with you. And in order to do that, you have to be regularly informing them about what's going on, educating them in depth, and even at a surface level, so as you can read in one or two tweets, what's this project about? Oh, that's interesting. Now I want to learn more. Inspiring them about where the project can go, engaging them. So getting involved in community-centric activities that, allow people to really feel a part of what's being built. After that, the third thing really is leverage. Every project that gets anywhere in Web3 has some investors or some partners, or even just connections of the team in previous jobs they worked in. And you have to leverage off all of those things so as that when you do put the content out and you do have the high quality look and feel to your project, that it actually gets seen. You're not just tweeting to no one, so you really have to leverage. And the fourth thing then, if you kind of want to turbocharge that growth, is to find a way for your community to get skin in the game. It's a long process from a project that goes to from pre-seed stage or inception, the early stage, to launch and a token launch. And if you can't find ways to get your community invested, either on a financial or emotional level, and this doesn't necessarily mean buying tokens at the financial level, but finding things like we've seen the rise in popularity of things like incentivized test nets or early node runners, beta testers, that kind of thing, and rewarding your early community members for doing these key activities is a really good way to get them involved. But there's lots of other ways that you can do it within the community if financial methods aren't available, things like status, just generally taking the attitude of showing the community that they matter. So when you put the four of those together, you kick off a process whereby you start to build a community organically, word spreads out there, people start to trickle in, and really from there, before you get onto your major launch campaigns or major events that you have going, the key is just to be consistent in it. So that's kind of the way I look at it in the space, the good way, the bad way, and kind of a brief overview of how to do it the right way.
Mm. Thank you very much, Ian, for your thoughts on this. I really, really appreciate that. So, if you were to look, because over here, we have the Nigerian community, so a lot of them are newbies. A lot of them are already people that are already in the space. So, if you're looking at the newbies aspect and they want to like have growth in the Web3 space, and they are looking for strategies or things that they can actually do to have that growth that we are talking about. What would be your advice to them?
So, as a newbie in the space, finding growth, the first way that you need to grow is in terms of what you know about the space. So, stay away from your kind of 100x type videos on YouTube and try to learn more about the fundamentals. Definitely get involved in chat communities. And again, I'll recommend like the Altcoin Edge Telegram is an amazing place to do that.
Yeah.
There's high quality conversations going on every day, and people discussing projects and asking questions and learning. But there are other communities out there like that. So take on the responsibility of learning a little every week. There's so many simple things. Like if you want to understand the ideas behind blockchain, it won't take you much more than a few minutes to read the Bitcoin white paper. That's a pretty good place to start. If you like video content, Coin Bureau is an excellent channel. Again, trying to do high quality video content is something we did on our YouTube for a long time. And then from there, if you want to grow in terms of working in the space, I think the important part is the best thing you can do is like find something, a niche that you're interested in, and just start doing content on it. Pick an open channel like a YouTube or a Twitter and just start getting out consistent content about that particular topic that you're interested in. Bring value to people and build up a following from there. And from there, you learn all kinds of things, right? You learn, content production, if it's YouTube, editing skills, search engine optimization, and copywriting for Twitter or a blog, whatever it might be. So, for instance, when you're putting out these podcasts, you could do it on sites like mirror.xyz and publish 0x to push people from them towards the blog or towards the podcast. And that will get you more views and that'll stimulate organic growth. So yeah, like start by learning yourself. And then if you want to grow a presence in the space, you're going to have to do it on the basis of content.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Thank you very much. So you mentioned something about people looking at but we'll be done. So you mentioned something about people looking about the 100x. Some of them are actually there for the 100x, the trading tips and some other things like that. Over here in the Nigerian Twitter space, because they've actually formed a little bit of like Twitter community whereby you get to see some set of Nigerians coming together and following the people that are actually already, I mean, the influencers in the Nigerian Twitter space. So, some of them just like tend to follow everything they do, like both in the 100x aspect and things like that. But some of them, when they try to like find jobs or like jobs in the crypto Web3 space, e.g., the moderating, the collab manager, or things like that, they tend to like get restricted because looking at the African and Nigerian region, sometimes some people like set restrictions. So if they want to like give out jobs, they might not want to like give it to someone that is just starting. They want to give it to someone with enough experience. So what would
Yeah.
you tell?
Honestly, I would say so we've worked with a lot of Web3 projects, and one of the aspects we work in is community management. So the amount of applications you get, someone going into a Discord, mod, can I DM, want to be admin or something like that, is huge. So it's incredibly competitive to get like even that kind of job. But being realistic, like a lot of projects, like the vast majority of projects are working off very tight budgets, and having a mod of a different language that they're going to pay a reasonable sum is not an incredibly likely outcome. So again, if you want to separate yourself from that to an extent, the way to do it is, yeah, of course, by understanding and knowing things. But one thing that probably would get a project's attention is, something like, oh, by the way, I've a few thousand followers on Twitter, and I host regular Twitter spaces, and you know what I mean? I have real engagement around what I do. And also, to make sure that if you are doing that, that the communication is good. So like run it through whatever, Chat GPT or whatever it is to clean up the English. Grammarly is another one you can use. Like make sure it's well formatted, because projects are getting tons of these applications. So you have to find something different about you to make you stand out.
Mm. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very, very much. Because some of them are loggerheads and they'll be like, I just want to get this moderating job. I just want to get this collab.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of jobs in free space, which you can actually earn or you can learn also. You can
Yeah.
also work as Yes, you can also work as an ambassador or things like that in the Web3 space. So, for our closing remarks, what would you like to say to both the newbies and both the influencers in the crypto space and in the Nigerian crypto space?
Uh, well, to finish on something positive, I'll start with the influencers. To the key opinion leaders, KOLs, influencers, whatever you want to call them, um, to the ones who are faking their numbers, like we've worked it out as an agency pretty well, how to figure out, even at a deep level, how it's being done. Um, and I think the rest of Web3 won't be far behind us, as well as the social media platforms taking this stuff more seriously. So I think, and I hope, that days are numbered for that style of doing things. For people who are out there creating content because they love it, like well done to those people. They, you'll never be shown probably the appreciation that you deserve for what you do, because it's a labor of love first and foremost. Um, and to always think about what other opportunities outside of just doing influencer KOL type stuff that can lead to. So don't just think about, doing that forever. Think about this being one tool in your arsenal, one arrow in your bow, but that can actually help you to land jobs related to it, to work with projects and to build other skills. The newbies in the space, I'd just say, like, don't believe 90% of what you see and hear. It's bullshit. Carefully curate um, the people that you listen to, and really like do your own research. You know what I mean? If you look at most venture capitalists, and even if you look at retail investors, if they just held Bitcoin and Ethereum, they would outperform 99%, 99.5% of other, traders or stuff like that. And even they would have outperformed a significant number of Web3 VCs. I think over 50% of Web3 venture capitalists over, like, I can't remember when the report was, right? But in the last year, over the last 3 years, holding Bitcoin and Ethereum outperformed the majority of them, like more than 50%. So, holding Bitcoin and ETH or whatever, like, has its own risks, and it can be a bit boring. So, but to be fair, if you hold the majority of a portfolio in that and have a small percentage for other things like shitcoining or, more speculative tokens, then grand. But overall, whether you're new to the space or not new to the space, but particularly if you're new to it, take a long-term view. You're not going to get 100x next week.
That's true.
And, like it's just not going to happen, especially in this market. So take a long-term view. Don't look about where you want to be even in 6 months or a year. Make decisions to put yourself in a good place in 5, 8, 10 years.
That is really amazing. Thank you very much for all your points. I'm very sure our listeners and our the people that are actually watching us on both YouTube and other streaming platforms would have been able to learn one or two things. And I will be dropping your group link and your channel link. So if they want to like learn one or two things from Housecoin Edge, they can just easily pop in the Telegram group and get to like check.
100%. Really appreciate you taking the time, man.
That's a wrap, everyone. Thank you very much for watching this episode. And you know the way we do it and why we wrap up. We're gonna be talking a little bit about the airdrop gist. I've given a little bit in the beginning, but let's quickly brush through it. The first one and the major airdrop gist, Say Network. What went wrong about the Say Network? Everyone is so upset. I think I myself, I'm actually so upset right now about the Say Network. What went wrong? Why didn't they airdrop everyone like they were actually supposed to? I think the way they distributed the airdrop in a lot of numerous places. When I was going through one of it, they said for some users that are actually using the Ethereum, the Binance, the Optimism, the Binance Smart Chain, the Optimism chain, the Polygon chain, they're gonna be giving them some of the airdrops, those that actually use those chains very well. And I think they also launched an airdrop also on the CoinGecko. So for those that actually claimed their candies, can actually use the candies to claim the airdrop. So some other things like that. But that is the major news. I think Say Network for me, they community and that was very bad. The hype all of a sudden just went down. Now everywhere on Twitter now is just trending that say scam, say scam, say scam, and that is very bad. I hope they can actually get the hearts of their community back. Thank you very much for listening. I hope to see you guys in some other time. See you next week. We're gonna be having our episode 4. I just want to give you a little bit of spoilers. We're gonna be bringing a team that are planning on working on the global effects. So you just don't worry, you're gonna be seeing them. Thank you very much for watching. I remain your faithful host, Castin. See you some other time. Thank you. Bye.